to do is we're actually going to decide, and just write decide in the chat, decide the destination for our online brand, right? Super simple. Now, what do we decide, Anne? Well, I like to put concrete numbers. Super simple. Now, what do we decide, Anne? Well, I like to put concrete numbers, right? Email subscribers, sales, leads. Hey guys, we're streaming. All right, let's take a pattern interrupt. And let's go to gallery. If we still got people on, turn on your cameras, guys, if you can. Just say hello to everybody. We're streaming day 2. Welcome. All right, I'm going to go back to the speaker. All right, so here's the piece. How many of you know exactly what your first financial metric is that you want to hit for your online brand? Let me know one in the chat. Do you know what your first financial metric is that you want to hit for your online brand, right? What about this one? Do you know how many email subscribers you want to hit for your online brand, let's say in the next month, right? So the first thing we need to do is we actually need to decide our destination. Now, can I give some good news to some people? I'm not talking about like your life destination. I'm not talking about marrying your brand. One of our VIPs, Sarah, she asked a great question. She's like, am I married to this brand? I'm like, no. So I like to work in, just get ready. This is good news for somebody. I like to work in 90-day increments. So write 90-day increments, right? When you're building out your lifestyle-led brand, I want this to be fun, okay? How many of us know we can do just about anything for 90 days, right? So I'm always looking to complete the entire blueprinting and branding and building cycle in 90 days, right? Get the foundations done, get all the stuff done that we need to get done in order to bring the brand powerfully into the market space. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to decide, right? So here I am, I'm building my online brand. I'm like, okay, I decided, Ryan. I'm like, I told my first mentor, like back in 2008, 2010, I'm like, Ryan, I want to make $10,000. He's like, awesome. He's like making, I don't know, tens of millions of dollars. He's like, think we got it, Ann. Think you'll get there. So go ahead and write a number in the chat. What number do you want to hit in the first 90 days of your online brand? Maybe you're not interested in sales right now. Maybe you're building your brand for authority. Maybe you already have a thriving coaching business, but you have no personal brand, right? Nobody knows who you are from Adam, right? But you have a thriving, profitable coaching business. So maybe you want to be in that space where, Anna, I just want to get 100 new leads this month. Or maybe I just want to get this much more reach on my platforms, right? So we've got some answers. 7,500, great number. Oh, 75,000 in 90 days. Even better. All right. So we've got that place where we've made a decision. And I was like, awesome, I made the decision. So I go into my brand and I'm like, I got it, right? I got this thing. So the second thing, well, let me ask you a question.
We've got numbers in the YouTube chat.
Cool. Oh, we've got numbers in the 50K. Thank you, Kelly. All right. We've got 30 and we've got 20K. So we have some concrete numbers to aim for. That sounds awesome. So here's what happened next. I'm like, I made my decision, Ryan. I'm all good. I'm ready to go. And I dive into my niche. Now, how many of you know what your niche is? If you know your niche, go ahead and write it in the chat, right? Do you know your niche? So Pam's niche, Christian women. Sarah Pearson, I think your niche is in interior design and journalism and a whole bunch of other things. It's a combination of. Teresa is in the real estate niche. Lisa's in emotional wholeness. I'm just calling out some of our VIPs right now. Eleanor, I think you're in the high ticket coaching space. I'm not sure. Let me know. But we've got all these people in the space where you have a really, you have a good idea of your niche. Now, one of the things that happens in the online space, have any of you ever been sailing? Do any of you know how to sail? You guys know how to sail? So there's this whole process called N. I want you to write this word down. Navigate. I want you to navigate. N for navigating. This is the second piece of the scaffolding as we're going to blueprint out our online brands. Did you know that each niche is just a little different, right? The high-level luxury interior design niche is a little different than the HGTV niche, right? Totally different niches. And when you understand the power of the micro niche, somebody say micro niche, write that in the chat. When you understand the power of the micro niche, you'll start to see how you can navigate the currents to get to your desired destination. Now, would anybody like to know how this played out? How I discovered this? Because this was a hard lesson. So just take, is it okay if I give to you my hard-won lessons so that you don't have to do them? Is that okay? Give me a 1 in the chat if that's okay. So I'm rocking and rolling. I got my info products. I'm like making money. It's all good. And I'm like, I know. I'll take one of the things that I do and I'll make a holiday decor product. And I'm like, I got it, right? Somebody say, I got it. Well, I didn't got it. Okay. So when I share with you the 3-step system, just please receive it so that you don't have to make the same mistakes I made, right? Isn't that the power of a coach, a mentor, a good friend? She's like, no, don't step there. Your heel will get stuck in the grate, or don't go there, right? Like that, they tell you what not to do, right? You guys know what I'm talking about? They tell you if you have a piece of food in your teeth, right? That's the good friend, the good mentor, the good coach. So that's what I want to do with this one. Because everybody's like, I got it. I got the micro niche. And I'm like, honey, take it from me. So here I am. I'm creating this holiday decor product. And stress-free holiday home. It does really well. We sell it for, we have, how many of you guys know what a value ladder is? Do you know what a value ladder is, right? So we had a low price, we had a $19 price, and we had a $5,000 price. $19 all the way up to I think $5,000 was the most we sold it for, unless we sold maybe a mentoring program at 25K. And I was like, I know, let's do a certification. Now, certifications are great offers. They're amazing offers. I love certification offers. So I'm putting this together and people are buying it. People are literally messaging us saying, how do I buy this product? Like we get messages in Facebook, like, where do I buy it? How do I buy it? That's a good product. So have you ever been in a place where you're like, something's not working? Like, Pam, have you ever been in a place where you're like, I think it's good, but there's something off and I can't quite figure it out? Like, what am I missing on my course? Like, is the button not working? Are people not getting the emails? Have you ever been in that place, Lisa? Right? Lisa Swanson's a nurse. She's in the emotional wholeness space. Have you ever been in that place where you're like, huh, I think it's supposed to be looking and feeling a little different? So come to find out, we're selling this program, we're selling this product, and part of the product is a Facebook group. Nobody is joining the Facebook group. And I'm like, you just paid $5,000. Why aren't you in the Facebook group? Like, you just like, here, right? It's like, what is that old game? Here's the church, here's the steeple, open the doors and all the people. Well, we were like, here's the church, here's the steeple, open the doors, and there are no people. There are no people in the Facebook group. I think we had like 2. And so I reached out to one of the women and I was like, I knew her well enough to say, hey, why are you not in the Facebook group? And she's like, well, I'm not going to share my stuff with other people because we're actually competitors. Somebody say, navigate your niche. Navigate your niche. And I was like, oh, now in my experience, I don't think anybody's a competitor. But for my specific niche of high-end holiday decorators who wanted to be certified as such, they didn't want to be in a group with what they perceive to be their competition. Navigating your niche. One, if you guys are getting this, right? Right? You got this? Okay, I love it. Sarah, cancer with swag and soul. Come on. All righty. So it's that place of, I didn't know until I knew that something was off. And I'm like, holy cow, you guys really don't want to be, they're like, no snap. And what I realized, I want you to think about your niche for a minute. Think about your actual specific niche. Now, if you've been in your niche, go ahead and write your niche in the chat for those of you who can. If you've been in your niche for a little bit of time, you probably sense like the personalities and the quirks and all the little undercurrents of bringing your brand to the marketplace, right? Who can imagine what happened to my holiday decor certification offer when we removed the group aspect? We took all of the materials off of Facebook. We have like, I don't know, 3 people in the group, and we put it onto a course platform. Navigating the niche, right? Now, for luxury, like my other products for super high-end luxury designers, they're like, we want the group, okay? For specialized holiday decorators, they're like, we do not want to, I'm not sharing my goods with so-and-so. Is this making sense? So as you are blueprinting your brand so that you can move really quickly to the market with really fast and high converting products, leads, and sales, you want to make sure that you're navigating your niche, right? Unto, as we talked about earlier, your desired destination, right? My goal was sales. Well, our sales went way up once we did that. So take it from me and give yourself some grace to kind of navigate the micro niche. Okay. Now you want to navigate the micro niche. Oh, okay. So we've got family discipleship, certification, MC, vacation home design. By the way, I love like design and lifestyle niches. How many of you are in the design or lifestyle niches? Like maybe you're in coaching. I consider coaching, high ticket coaching, to be in the lifestyle space, right? Because people who actually step into that embrace the big picture, right? We've got family discipleship. Okay. So when you are thinking about your niche, you want to go ahead and navigate it. And so what's step 1? We actually want to decide our destination. So how many of you are going to be after sales? Sales. You want to hit a certain sales number for your brand. Eleanor, awesome. Pam, awesome. So you want to hit a certain sales number. Second, you want to navigate your actual micro niche, not your niche, your micro niche. I want you to think about that one ideal customer, Eleanor, Teresa, Pam. Those are the ones I can see on screen right now. You want to think about that ideal customer, and you want to back them up from the minute they meet you all the way through buying your high ticket offer and writing you a great review. And that's the only person you're navigating your niche for. Okay. How deep do I want to go into this? How do you guys want me to go? I'm looking at my VIPs right now. Do you want me to go a little deeper into this to give you a little more context? Okay, I'm getting the head nod. Okay, so how many of you have ever tried to build something online and you build like a front end low price product, right? You've got a front end low price product, maybe a lead generation item, and you might have like a higher ticket price point, right? You've got a high ticket item out here. What happens a lot of times is brand builders, when they don't put up this scaffolding that I'm talking about, and I know this to be true because we were recently on a call with a consulting client. Now, consulting clients pay me $40,000 a day. Okay, we've had one consulting client, they paid us $270,000 to help them navigate bringing their offline success into the online space, right? So just for some context. And the consulting client was like, hey, yeah, we got the lead thing. Like they were all proud, right? We got the thing and the thing and the thing. And I'm like, those are 2 different people. You're going to go off the rails really fast because they were talking to 2 different people. a low-priced buyer, and a high-priced buyer. And when you are navigating your niche, Eleanor, Pam, Teresa, Sarah, you're talking to one buyer, which is your ideal high-ticket buyer. Okay. And all you're doing when you're navigating your niche down to your low entry-level products and services is you're serving them at their pain in the patootie pain point. Okay. You're serving them right there. Okay. So do you guys want an example of this? How we navigated this with holiday decor? All right. How did we navigate this with holiday decor? So my top end client for my holiday decor product is, and this is not a derogatory term, but she is a Debbie kind of designer decorator. She's got a big, beautiful home. She actually has multiple properties. Okay. She fancies herself a decorator and a designer. And she wants to be able to get certified and design and decorate her own homes and help other people decorate their homes. Okay. She's often in competition with her local event planner, the local caterer, and the BFF of the person who has the house. Right? Do you guys see this kind of person if I'm designing, if I'm trying to communicate her? So when we first started, I had a $19 product that was serving somebody who wasn't her. When I switched the low price product to how to fire the event planner, how to fire the caterer trying to help do the design, and how to make sure that you have a plan for your 4,000 square foot home, which by the way is on a webinar right now, like making leads and sales, all of a sudden that little $19 lead gen product wove all the way through to her high ticket desire. One, if that makes sense. Let me know one, if that makes sense. One, if that makes sense. Primary principle for this. Pam, Eleanor, Lisa, Sarah, Marilyn. Those are the names I can see right now. Primary principle is you have one ideal client. One, Wendy, one. You have one ideal client, Kim. And that ideal client is the client that buys all of your stuff all the way through with ease, with joy. They never complain. They're just always super fun and easy to work with. I want you to picture that person in your head right now. Picture that person. If you don't have that person, dream them up. Imagine them. If you're on the challenge, you get access to one of our business success kit. If you're on the VIP, you get the business success kit for free. In there, I literally have a training that I run all my mastermind clients through. It's called the Imagination Test Avatar. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to imagine that high ticket buyer. And then you're going to go all the way back to her first or his first encounter with you. What's their first encounter with you? Why are they Googling? Why are they trying to find you, Pam? What are they frustrated by, Eleanor? What are they thinking? If I could just get this thing flipping solved, I'd be on fire. In my example, my holiday decorator was like, I am in competition with the dang event planner. And I'm like, how to get rid of the event planner? How to get rid of the event planner? How to get rid of the caterer? Okay. Is that landing? This is a very important primary principle. You do that one thing, your value ladder will shift. Your value ladder will shift. You'll no longer have you ever had really high maintenance, low ticket clients? Has anybody ever had really high maintenance, low ticket clients? And they never buy anything that's at the upper end. All right, Kim, you know what I'm talking about. So if you'll start modifying your message and navigating your niche so that even your low ticket prices are tackling the things that your high ticket, easy, fun buyers are struggling with, the whole thing changes. Like the whole thing. Right? All right, so what do we do first? We've got to decide our destination. Say it again in the chat, right? Repetition is the mother of invention, right? So sit down, write it in the chat. What's your goal? Is it $75,000? Is it $20,000 in the next 90 days? What is your desired destination? Is it 100 new email subscribers? Is it, I don't know, 50 new YouTube subscribers? What is your desired destination? Write it in the chat. That's number one. This is the frame, okay? Number two, we're actually going to navigate the undercurrents of your niche. Just say that. I'll navigate the undercurrents. And guys, this is going to take some thinking time. Like this is where I go out on a walk and I'm like, you know, what is my ideal client doing right now? Right? What is she frustrated by? And it's like light bulb moment, right? Oh, she wants to get rid of the event planner. Cool. Great. So I'll tell her how to do that. Okay. So that's number two. So then I'm like, awesome. I got all this stuff. I know what I'm going to do. And we're going to get into like the details of your platforms and your brand ethos and all that kind of stuff. We're going to tackle all of that tomorrow. But right now I want you to get into this headspace for a minute. Have any of you ever woken up and dreaded the day because you have too much work to do? Have any of you ever woken up and thought, I got to make like 50 social media posts. I got to write 14 blog posts. I got to figure out how to stream on YouTube. I got to do this. I got to do that. Am I talking to anybody? Awesome. I just made sales. Yay. Now I got 45 people that paid me $5,000. I'm like, holy wow, Batman. What do I do now? Okay. So this third one is, well, let me ask you this. Have you ever heard that saying, easy on the front end of building, hard on the back end of building? Or hard on the front end of building, easy on the back end, right? Let me give you a frame for this. The third one, I want you to write assign. Just write assign. Like ASSIGN. We're going to assign stuff. Kind of like an assassin. We're going to take these things out one by one. Okay. Now, can you imagine trying to build a beautiful Ritz-Carlton 5-star hotel and not digging a foundation? What would happen to that hotel, right? As soon as people got up on the upper floors, right? What's happening? That building is crumbling, right? Now, what is amazing about building a foundation? Like literally nothing, right? They're expensive. They're messy. They're like cost a lot of, like, they're just like messy. Like imagine a foundation for a beautiful Ritz-Carlton hotel. And you're walking by this thing and you're like, where's the flipping hotel? Where's they said they were going to put a hotel up. They've got a great big sign for the hotel. They got all these pretty pictures and you walk by and it's this janky looking construction site with a janky looking fence and a bunch of dudes, like messy, dirty, mud, water, steel. It's a mess, right? Well, what they're doing when they're building the foundation is they're going deep, they're digging deep, they're doing the hard stuff at the front end. And when you and I are building brands in such a way that, well, does anybody want another job? Because I don't want another job, right? But when we're building brands, we actually have to make some big, hard decisions at the front end where we're assigning every single thing that needs to be happened to somebody who's not us, okay? The way we put it for our mastermind clients is this. We're going to design and build brands to sell, even if we never sell them and we never intend to. Can you write that in the chat? We're going to design and build. We're going to blueprint brands to sell, even if we never do. Okay. So what do you mean by that, Anne? Well, we've decided our destination. Let's say we want to make 10 grand in the next 90 days, 20 grand in the next 90 days. We have navigated our niche. We've done our research. We're like, oh, okay. Decorators at this group don't want to hang out. Decorators in this group do, right? So no groups. for these guys, groups for these guys. We've navigated our niche. We've navigated some of the undercurrents. We know the language to use, the language not to use. We're good stewards, right, of our access here. Now it comes down to actually executing the work on a day-to-day basis. And we have to learn how to, and if you've never done it, has anybody ever built a business to sell before? Let me know if you've ever built a business to sell. Okay. If you've never done this before, this is going to feel wildly uncomfortable. Okay. Wildly uncomfortable because you're going to feel like you're deciding yourself out of a job. You're going to feel like you're deciding yourself like, what value do I provide here? What do I do? Right. But what you're doing is you're making decisions so that the business can run without you. Okay. Now, how do we do that on a day-to-day basis? Well, every single decision that we make, and we unpack this, we have a 3-day 7-figure brand advance that our clients have gone through, our mastermind clients have gone through. And I'll share a little bit with you about that, like towards the end of the week. And everybody's like, holy cow, I feel like I'm not working. I know, I'm like, I know. That's why it's called a lifestyle-led brand. Somebody write lifestyle-led brand. Okay, lifestyle-led. You make decisions in such a way that the ability for it to replicate itself exists inside the decision. That's the power of a system. Okay. How many of you make your own social media posts? Right? You hang out on Canva, you make your own social media posts. What about this? How many of you write your own emails? Now, I like to write the emails, so I write all the emails. I like that part. How many of you write your own emails? Okay. How many of you, okay, thank you, Kim. How many of you do things in your business that you know other people could also do? Right? You have things in your brand right now that other people could actually step into. Well, the assigning process is literally taking every single piece of your brand and making it somebody else's responsibility. Now, how many of you can guess the pushback I get on this? And I don't have the money. And I don't have the time. And I don't have the people. I'm like, I know you don't. It's all good. It's all good. But the result for this doesn't start externally. Okay. Doesn't start externally. The money, the people, none of that starts externally. Why? Because we are the ones who are vibing, if you will, my language, my energy language, if you will. We are the ones who are vibing as the owner founder of how this thing is going to go down. So if I have a bad belief, well, can I remind you guys of something? Yesterday, there were 3 keys I said to making really good decisions. One is we want to bent positive. We want to bent positive. Second, we want to bent that our idea is good, even if it's not, even if the idea stinks it up. Okay. Let's just hub on those 2 for a second. When you are thinking about everything on your desk being assigned to another person, you've got to start with bending positive, that it is even remotely possible. Okay. That's the first one. The second one, we want to actually bend that, oh, this idea to do this is actually maybe a good idea. And so if you've never built a company to sell before, you never built a brand to sell before, it's a new way of thinking. It's a new neural pathway. It's a new way of looking at every task on your list. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay. So the overarching scaffolding for a 7-figure, or if you just want to go 5 and 6, I shared, I think with you or my VIP group, like I have a little holiday decor brand, Stress Free Holiday Home. It's like $40,000 to $60,000, but I love it. It's a sweet brand, right? It's just fun. It's not making $1 million a year. It's just kind of sweet and it's fun and it doesn't take a ton of my time. Okay. So whether you want to build small and sweet or you want to go big, this process, whenever I get off track, I'm like, where did I miss it? Am I not understanding what the niche actually wants? Right? That's why my offers aren't selling. Am I too much in the weeds on my assigning? Am I trying to do all the socials myself? Am I trying to do all this stuff myself? Okay. Now, how many of you would like to know the metric that I use to see if I'm winning this little DNA method or not? Let me know in the chat. Right? What is it that how many, what's the metric, right? What's the metric? Okay. So I'm always looking at 10 hours per week and then 10 hours per month per brand. So somebody write 10, 10. Right? So when I started the Grounding Path, so we have another brand, it's called the Grounding Path. I was like, all right, I'll give 40 hours a month to work on this brand, right? We had some trademarks we had to deal with. We had some registered, we finally got the registered trademark. We got all this stuff going on. And so now my goal is to take that 40 hours a month of work and compress it down to 10, right? Get it down to that place where it fits inside. Like who would like to have brands that click on at 5, 6, and 7? Like our real estate brand clicks on at multi-7 and it averages about 5 hours a month now. Not too bad. Pretty good. Right? One in the chat if that would be okay with you. But the process to get there, it was, Patrick, how long was it probably when we were building the real estate brand, it was probably a year, friends, of really hard work.
Yeah.
Learning how, just say, I will learn how to make decisions. I will learn how to make decisions because everything in me, have you ever been in that place where you get into a new situation and you're like, you tense up, you freeze up, you're like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I've never been here before. It doesn't feel like quite right or safe. And what was happening was I was just stepping into a new level that I'd never been before. So I was like, I actually had to learn how to make decisions differently. Right? I had to step out of my old self, right? And I had to think of myself as 7-figure real estate Ann, and I had to look back and make decisions from that place, right? And if you haven't watched the replay from yesterday, I strongly encourage you, watch it. We've got an edited version on YouTube. You can actually watch the replay from yesterday, put it on fast speed, right? Because I unpack how we make decisions from identity, not information, right? Because all the information inside of me when I was building this real estate brand, I was like, like, that sound, warning lights flashing. I was like, this feels really uncomfortable. But I'd never been there before. I'd never made decisions like that before. Right? I'd never hired a management company. I didn't know what they got paid. I didn't know how to deal with them, how to communicate. I didn't know how to do any of that, right? And now I do. So in that sense, we want to get to that place where we can make a concrete decision, navigate the micro niche that we're in, be okay to pivot, right? Sailing, you got to work with the undercurrents, right? We lived in the San Francisco Bay Area for 25 years, right? Navigating the Bay waters is interesting on a sailboat because it looks like it's all like peaches and cream, but you got to know which channels to get into when you're tacking and you're sailing, okay? And then learning how to assign, okay? Learning how to assign all of the different pieces that aren't your highest and best gift, right? Somebody say highest and best contribution, right? My highest and best contribution is in the idea phase. It's in the idea realm. Okay. I actually wrote a book on it. It's called Idea to Implementation. How to quick start, how to name your ideas so they know how to behave in a real world. Okay. I wrote that book in 2017. We still use it. If you're in our Facebook group, there's a PDF somewhere of it. It's super simple. And yet it has changed the game for so many people, right? How many of you would like to have a brand in the online space that knew what to do without your constant attention, right? So that you can actually show up as the highest and best version of yourself, right? So that's the DNA method. And I literally apply that. I could show you one of my books here. I apply that constantly. Now we're going to unpack something called the ethos tree. Boom, that was my phone. We're going to unpack something called the ethos tree, which is this in our VIP session tomorrow. So if you aren't on the VIP yet, get in the VIP room. But I literally do this. Here it is. Here's the grounding path. Here's one of our brands designed daily. I literally do this. Like, I'm not telling you to do something that I don't do. Okay. Which one is this? Oh, this is a personal brand for somebody. I do this for our consulting clients. This is another personal brand for a consulting client. I'm going to show you that one. But do you understand that this is what I do? I set up the scaffolding, the DNA. Where are we going? So let me ask you a question. What's your concrete goal? Pam, Eleanor, Kim, Sarah, what's your concrete destination? Right, are we going to France? Right? Are we going to the Mediterranean? Are we going to Hawaii? Where are we going? Right? Are we going to make $20,000 in the next 90 days? Are we going to make 100 grand in the next 90 days? Are we going to get 150 new subscribers on YouTube, 150 new emails? What's the destination? And let me take a sip of coffee. Well, actually, okay, do you see this mug right here? Worthy. I am going to take a sip of coffee. This was for a brand that we built called Kingdom Mastermind. It's a ladies group where we just mastermind like kingdom mindsets and faith type stuff. And it's super fun. And when I was blueprinting out this brand in what year was that, Patrick? 2018? 18. I sat down and I did exactly the same thing that I'm training you to do right here. I was like, where are we headed? And I was like, I just want a place where women can gather and be encouraged. Like that's who I am. I want to encourage you. I want to empower you to be really successful beyond what you think you can do in the amount of time that you have. That's what I want to do. And so I was like, oh, what do they need? Well, we need worthy. So we have t-shirts, we have mugs, the whole 9 yards. You're worthy to be sitting on a hill. Because I was navigating the niche, right? Navigating the niche and breaking off things that were presuppositions that were actually not true, right? Oh, I have to work really hard to get this. I'm like, no, you don't. The blessing isn't it. It comes upon you. So put your hands out and let's receive it, right? You're supposed to be making way more money, working way less hard. Is that good news? Right? And then you're confronted with, well, what's my value? I'm not working hard, right? I have to do something, right? I got to pedal here or do that or run this or make that and it's like, you have to settle into that, assigning the decisions, put your shoulders back, put your neck up, like get into that place where you can actually, ooh, what does $1 billion Barbie do? What does $100 million Ann do? How does $10 million Ann handle this decision, right? So that's what I want you to think about as we're navigating the overall DNA method. Okay. Has this been encouraging for anybody? Has this been like just encouraging? Okay. All right. So here's what's going to happen. If, friends, you're not already our YouTube stream, our Facebook group stream, if you are not in the $27 VIP, friend, what you doing? What you doing? Okay. I say that lovingly because inside the VIP, you get the business success kit, which is an $888 thing that I run all my $25,000 mastermind members through. Like they get that, they run through it. You also get a private dashboard, a member dashboard with the recordings, with the templates, with the 17-page workbook. Okay. So we also got a bonus training for our VIPs. et cetera, et cetera. So I want to encourage you. Actually, let me give you permission on something. When I first started in the online space, I was afraid. Has anybody ever been afraid? Right? I was afraid to buy a product because I had this really bad belief. I'm like, they're gonna like it's bad. I'm like gonna spend this $15 or $25 or whatever, and it's gonna be bad. Like, just step into your new identity. As a 5, 6, or 7-figure brand builder, engage in the VIP so that you can step over the lowest barrier to business that you and I will ever face, right? And that's the financial piece, right? Business is the exchange of currency, right? Just kind of, you know how you do your fingers like, there's just currency. It's the exchange of currency. And what we're giving to you this week, we want you to have a place for it to land so that you can build your businesses with ease, so that you can blueprint out your brand with ease, right? So quick reminder, yesterday we cleared the decks. We're like getting the right mindset, right? We're going to learn how to actually decision healthy, fast decisions, right? Healthy, fast decisions, right? That's the first thing. Today, we got some scaffolding on this soil. We're going to make a decision about where we're headed, our concrete result. We're going to look at our niches. You want some homework tonight? Look at your actual niche. Look for some fingerprints. How do they behave? How do they not behave? What do they like? What do they not like? And only do it for your top client, right? Your top client. Remember my holiday decor example, right? They didn't want a group, right? They wanted to know how to get rid of the event planner and the caterer, right? So go to your high level, super fun client, right? Then think about, ooh, assigning myself out of a job. How's that feel? Anybody got high significance need on their personality charts, right? Significance, right? Well, it'll confront that, but in a good way. It'll make space for higher level, bigger significance. Right. So give yourselves a round of applause for being here. Tomorrow we've got our concierge coaching at 8:30 in the morning. And if you're not in the VIP, I want to see you there. All right. So that we can tackle your questions. All right, friends. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.